In the quiet, tree-lined suburbs of Georgia, a chilling story unfolded that ripped through the fabric of a seemingly ordinary community, leaving behind a trail of disbelief and profound sorrow. It was a crime so unfathomable, so deeply disturbing, that it forced everyone to confront the darkest corners of human behavior. A teenager, barely an adult, accused of the unthinkable, the murder of her own parents. This wasn't merely a local tragedy. It became a stark, unsettling mirror reflecting the hidden complexities within seemingly stable lives. This is the story of Sarah Grace Patrick, a name that, for many, became synonymous with a tragedy that defied easy explanation. At just 17 years old, Sarah was, by all outward appearances, a typical American high school student. She lived with her parents, had friends, and navigated the usual complexities of adolescence. Her life seemed to follow the predictable rhythm of suburban youth, filled with school, social interactions, and the gradual steps towards independence. Yet, beneath this veneer of normalcy, something profoundly broken was festering, culminating in an act that would forever alter the lives of everyone connected to the Patrick family, and indeed, cast a long shadow over the very concept of domestic peace. The nightmare began on a seemingly ordinary morning when concerned relatives, unable to reach the Patricks, requested a welfare check. What law enforcement discovered inside the family home sent shockwaves far beyond the quiet cul-de-sac. The bodies of Sarah's parents, found under circumstances that immediately pointed to foul play, painted a grim picture of a violent and deliberate act. The initial scene was one of chaos and horror, a stark contrast to the peaceful suburban setting that had, moments before, promised tranquility. The quiet streets, usually bustling with morning routines, were suddenly filled with the flashing lights of emergency vehicles, transforming a familiar neighborhood into a crime scene. As investigators began to piece together the events, the focus quickly shifted to the only other person known to be in the home, Sarah Grace Patrick. The immediate question on everyone's mind was why? What could possibly drive a young woman on the cusp of adulthood to such an extreme act against the very people who raised her, who provided her with a home and presumably love and support? Initial reports from neighbors and acquaintances painted a picture of a family without overt problems, a seemingly stable household. There were no obvious signs of discord, no public outbursts, no apparent red flags that might have foreshadowed such a catastrophic event. Yet, the brutal reality found within their walls suggested a hidden turmoil, a silent struggle that had reached a devastating breaking point, unseen by those outside. Sarah was quickly taken into custody. Her demeanor, as described by those present, became a subject of intense scrutiny, fueling public speculation and professional analysis. Was there remorse, shock, or something far more unsettling, a chilling detachment that defied conventional understanding? Details from the initial interrogation, though not fully public, hinted at a complex psychological landscape, a mind perhaps grappling with forces beyond its control or exhibiting an alarming lack of empathy. Evidence collected from the scene, including meticulous forensic analysis and the painstaking gathering of witness statements, began to build a compelling case against her. The sheer brutality of the crime suggested a deep-seated rage or a profound emotional void, leaving seasoned investigators grappling with the elusive motive behind such a heinous act. As the investigation deepened, various theories regarding a potential motive began to surface, each one attempting to make sense of the senseless. Was it a desperate cry for independence, a rebellion against parental authority taken to its most extreme and tragic conclusion? A violent severing of ties that had become unbearable? Were there underlying mental health issues that had gone unnoticed or unaddressed, a silent battle waged within that finally erupted with devastating force? Or perhaps, as is often the case in such complex family tragedies, was it a culmination of long-simmering resentments, arguments over rules, or perceived restrictions that escalated beyond anything imaginable? A slow burn that finally consumed everything in its path. The community struggled to reconcile the image of the quiet teenager they thought they knew with the horrific crime she was accused of committing. Each new piece of information, however small, only seemed to deepen the mystery. highlighting the profound disconnect between the public persona and the private reality that had been so violently exposed. Following her arrest, Sarah Grace Patrick was charged with the murder of her parents. The legal proceedings that followed were closely watched, not just by the local community, but by a nation grappling with the increasing frequency of such domestic tragedies. As of today, July 27, 2025, the case has moved through various stages of the justice system. The defense likely explored avenues related to her age, potential psychological factors, and the immense pressure she faced. Seeking to understand the circumstances that led to such an act, the prosecution, meanwhile, focused on the undeniable facts of the crime and the devastating loss suffered by the victims, seeking justice for a family shattered. Regardless of the specific legal outcome, whether a plea agreement or a trial verdict, the gravity of the charges and the profound impact on all involved remained undeniable, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the complexities of human behavior. The story of Sarah Grace Patrick is more than just a crime report. It's a haunting reminder of the hidden struggles that can exist within seemingly normal families, a testament to the fact that appearances can be profoundly deceiving. It forces us to ask difficult questions about adolescent mental health, the intricate dynamics within families, and the often subtle warning signs we might miss in our daily lives. For the community, the Patrick home became a symbol of shattered innocence and inexplicable violence, a permanent scar on the landscape of their collective memory. For the legal system, it was another complex case demanding answers where often only more questions arise, pushing the boundaries of understanding human motivation. And for Sarah Grace Patrick herself, her life, once filled with the promise of youth, was irrevocably altered by an act that will forever define her, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and a chilling testament to the darkness that can sometimes reside in the most unexpected places.